Welcome to this video, guys. This is part two. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness and the highest levels of love light. I just did a little bit of an energy update just to kind of give everybody a little reminder to get into the hearts and just recognize that we're all kind of going through stuff. And I didn't really mention in the previous video, I wanted to mention this time around, even though there's a lot of things going around and the energies have really gone up, and we really are experiencing so many beautiful things right now too. And speaking of beauty, I'm so excited. I'm playing with my background. This picture, all the pictures I'm sharing are pictures I've taken. And I just always love taking pictures with the sun coming through the trees. And I think that's one of the biggest messages right now is seeing the forest through the trees, you know, recognizing that there's a lot more going on than what we're just seeing right in front of us, and taking those moments to really observe. Observation is key right now. Observing what it is that we're feeling, observe and feeling it, and recognizing that we're feeling it. Observing the sun coming through the clouds, seeing the light reflecting off of a glass, making a rainbow. Those little things are so important for us to open our hearts. When we see the beauty in the mundane, the magic in the mundane, our heart just does something. And that something that it does has to do with coherence. It has to do with heart frequency. It has to do with love, appreciation, and gratitude. And the more consistent we are with appreciation, love, and gratitude, the higher our frequency, the more we maintain that frequency, the easier it is for us to navigate when things come and knock us off our frequency seat. They knock us off and we fall on our butts and we go, what happened? We're able to get back on the bicycle, so to speak. Did I mention fell off the bike? I don't know. We're able to pick ourselves up a little bit easier and with a little bit more grace and a little bit more laughter, and not take ourselves so seriously. So I'm just going to go into a little flow from there. So as we allow ourselves to feel into the frequencies that are blending and oscillating all around us, we recognize there is a massive surge or massive wave of light. This light that is coming in is breaking through all of the cracks, one might say. It is merging and melting through the crevices. And even though the darkest spaces that have not been blessed with the light, one might say, are here, the light is here also. And the light we emit from our heart, from our body, from our light body, is also having an impact on the darkness that many of us feel at times, see at times, experience at times. For we are in a beautiful world filled with shadow and light. I'm seeing painting, like a painting, and even this picture, right? We've got the shadow of the trees. The light coming through is illuminating the beautiful texture of the trees. And so we bring this awareness around this wordplay, for texture is a perfect word to share right now of what we are experiencing through this network of opportunity, with this opportunistic network, taking this opportunity to tune into this network of light rays and light field activations. For we are feeling the texture of life, one might say, and we are choosing our medium as artists. We are choosing which medium and the brush strokes that we are using to create our masterpiece. For we are pulling the pieces together and aligning ourselves with the entirety of the picture, the scope of the grand scheme, the grand schematic that we are recognizing and feeling as we move through with our brush strokes. We feel ourselves brushing up against a certain things, reflections and patterns that we really do not wish to include potentially in our own artistry, in our own artwork, or we do not wish to display in our canvas. And yet we are also being invited to recognize that each of us is in the room, each of us is looking at what it is that we are painting, perceiving from a different canvas, using a different medium. So I'm seeing like artists, you know, when you stand around and you're painting something and then you look at each person, what they painted, it always looks different. Some people might be using watercolor, some people might be using oil, some people might be sculpting, some people might be using whatever that is. And we're not bumping up against them saying, no, you need to use oil, you need to paint in a monochromatic tone or whatever it might be. For the variety is the texture, and the texture gives us the ability to compare and contrast. For without the contrasting spectrums, which are still a form, if you will, of light from one perspective, we cannot see the angles in which we need to reflect in order to create the depth of our, I'm just seeing view, picture, perspective, so on and so forth. So with these incoming frequencies that are about to, I'm seeing a canister of worms opening up, like confetti spray, are about to be opened. We are fine-tuning and making appropriate adjustments in our field in order to fully embrace the next spectrum that is overlaying itself in our reality. We are embedding with this light code geometry in a quantum way that is not able to be conveyed necessarily in this type of message or seen from a I'm going to say what's coming through because I'm hearing like a play on words here, or seen from a verbal perspective, meaning if we were to share with you what it is that you should see with these words, it would be incomplete, for there is no language or description that can fully describe or explain what it is that is being processed, integrated, and merged with. While we could use words to explain the geometry or the physics of what is happening or what is changing in the physicality of your own dimensional existence, it still falls short and does not allow for the vivid architecture to be presented in such a way that we can fully convey the massiveness of this energy that is literally pouring through the cracks, pouring through the solidification that once was. For those have dissolved, and the area in which we have access to spread out into has expanded. So therefore, the waveforms and the diversification in mathematical representations of reality and the harmonics of sound, the barriers with which we were once encapsulated within, that's a play on words, with which we were once, like that's all a play on words, have shifted. And so our interaction and communication has shifted. Therefore, how it is that we communicate about these interactions must also shift. And so we must, as humans, make the appropriate diagnosis of our own physical form, the necessities, I'm hearing bare necessities. Okay, that's all a play on words. in order to fully acclimate to the energies that are pouring from the sun, that are pouring from the crystals, that are pouring from the sounds that are being created, that are moving through the pores. I'm hearing igneous rock. Is it igneous? And I'm seeing just the pores of the earth opening up to receive the rays of the sun. And this is a play on words, to receive the rays of the frequency and the vibration. So we are, oh, I'm being shown. So recently I had a blue jay who I helped feed for a bit until I got it to the rescue facility. And this blue jay couldn't fly yet. I should share a picture. It was a fledgling, so I brought it outside, and it just was perched on my shoulder, and it just laid on my shoulder and just spread out. It was maybe one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I thought it passed out, but when it got the sun, it just spread out all of its feathers. It moved its neck so it could really get all of that sunshine, and it just absorbed it. And it would do that every time. It would just stop and just bask in the glory of the sun. I mean, it was just so cute. And this is what I'm being shown Earth is doing. It's almost like, yeah, it's spreading out, opening her pores. And I'm seeing that's what's happening in our bones, in our skin, in our bodies, so that we can make space for the energy that is creating like a pulsation in the entire network of reality. And so doing our best in these times to breathe, to drink plenty of water, hydrate, to connect with the earthly elements, assist us in changing the chemistry of our own elements. And as we do this together, it creates an archaeological, I'm seeing this as a play on words. It's a lot of information coming in, and it's interesting because some days it's really fast. I'm like, now it's like slow, and this is kind of the message that's coming in. It's like sometimes we're meant to go fast and use a bunch of energy and exercise and stimulate our senses, and other times it's important to slow down. And so tuning into what our body needs is important. I'm hearing the Sorcerer Stone, and essentially recognize that when we move too quickly, and this is a double meaning, when we're moving around really fast, we can outrun ourselves, right? That's burn the candle at both ends. But I'm also seeing when some of us want change now, we want to be activated now. We want all of our DNA. Me too. I have that same problem. We want everything I want to be psychic. I want to be able to heal the world. I want to be able to be telepathic. I want to be able to, whatever it might be. Those are kind of the things I like to tune into. Some people want other things right now, but what I'm being shown is whatever's happening right now, it's meant for us to spread out, absorb, and really allow ourselves to stabilize. And then what I'm hearing is, and then get ready to rock and roll. So that's something that I'm kind of seeing energetically, potentially right now. And so we just come back to what we say, and is nothing new for us to review. However, we cannot shine enough light on the heart. We cannot shine enough light on the importance of starting our day right. And how do we start our day right? Well, allowing ourselves to sit in right thought, to sit in our own space and write down our thoughts, share in the feeling of recognition and connecting to your home base. So I'm seeing multiple things here. Right thought, meaning get into gratitude. Visualize your day and pre-plan, pre-wave by sending out a little gratitude to each person that you may be interacting with today. Saying prayers for those who might be sick. Connecting to the earth and sending her gratitude and love. Connecting to the sun and just feeling gratitude for all of the benefits of the sun. All that stuff. It only takes 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour. Whatever we have available to us, utilize it as often as we can right now. The second thing I'm seeing is when we do things consciously, such as talk about what we're feeling and experiencing from when, oh wow, I'm feeling a lot of love right now, thank you. Saying it out loud, writing it down, recording it, all of those things, what it does is it brings it into this reality. It embeds it, like gives it a timestamp in this matrix. Number 2. Number 3, I'm also being shown what it does is it brings us into oneness. Like if you've ever stubbed your toe, you think my toe hurts. Well, the pain that you're feeling, yes, is in the toe, but you can only know that pain because of the brain and the fascia that sends those signals. So it's really important recognizing that toe is not separate from me. My toe is not separate from my foot, which is not separate to my shin, my calf, my body, my brain. It's all connected. I'm getting goosebumps on this. This is really important because I talked about this with parasite cleanses. Sometimes there's a separation or film that gets, that's a byproduct of parasites that creates a separation between the digestive system and what we need in order to digest properly. But it also creates a separation from our organs. So we feel separate, we feel disconnected, we feel like we're foggy. So maybe doing a heavy metal detox or a parasite cleanse, which I always recommend. Some people I can tell right away that need one. Others, I just suggest it in general. I do them on a regular basis. Do your own research, determine when that would be for you. Mine's approximately every 3 to 6 months. But again, it's up to you and your own body and your own medical situations and conditions. But what I'm seeing is that there is this disconnect that a lot of people are feeling because they're not taking the time to make these connections. Oh, wow, I'm really already future tripping. So I said project into your day and send love out, but that's different than thinking about your day and thinking about I've got to do this, I've got to do that. That's left brain. We're doing our best right now to coordinate, bring us back into our axis point of coordinates, create the right angle that then creates a node or a timestamp in that moment that then activates a ripple effect that then has an impact, bubbles out. And then as you walk forward into that bubble that you've already created or are creating through the heart. That's what's being shown to me right now. And apparently, once again, this is the message. So it's going to be really important for us to create these connections because we are expanding and moving forward. Also be aware that we might be getting heart palpitations. We might be feeling a little more anxiety than usual. We might have sleep disturbances. So if we are overthinking it, overanalyzing it, and not dropping into our bodies, it just makes it worse. So I'm going to end on that note and just sending out a lot of love and light. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing in this now moment, sharing these videos. Thank you for your comments. I know I don't always have time to respond, but I will say I recognize that many people are going through difficult times, and I really feel called just to remind everybody that we are not alone. We are each going through our individual experience. And meaning what I'm experiencing might be very similar to what somebody else out there is experiencing too. And the more we can remember that and create communities with our fellow brothers and sisters, help our fellow brothers and sisters, reach out a helping hand, you know, remind others that be that listening ear sometimes without enabling, the victim. These are all things to keep in mind. This is the value that we are bringing in this new reality. One of the many values, but it creates the fashion network. We are the mycelium, right? So in love and light, guys. Namaste.